Okay, let's go. Welcome to everyone to this technical workshop, but also we are going to discover who is the winner for the top post of the quarter, because as you know, we organize the top post every month, which is the monthly newsletter that you might be receive if you are subscribed. If it's not, I recommend it to you to subscribe it to this very interesting newsletter, because will allow you to know what is or who is the top of post, who is the most voted, recommended, but also most commented. Okay, so we are going to discover who is the top 3 of the quarter, which is including April, May, and June. So during 3 months, we have been publishing, for your information, about 700 posts, because we are roughly in between 250 and 300 posts every month. And also, let me know, first of all, just maybe most of you know me. I am 𝗕𝗂𝗿𝗄𝗍, the owner of the Modern Endpoint Management. And I'm happy to say that we crossed the last month over 25,000 members, which is, that's converted us in probably the largest community specialized in endpoint management. So I'm really proud of that, but mainly also because we have 18 brilliant official contributors and non-contributors. They are contributing permanent, very good and helpful information. So here we are. And the first thing that I want to say is thank you to the sponsor, Acronis. It's one of the very specialized and very well known, you probably know, in endpoint security. And that's exactly what we're going to do today here, because that is the focus of the community, learn and helping each other. So this is the focus that we are going to try today. We are going to discover by two technical workshop. And let me show you what is the agenda that we have today. So after the introduction that I'm doing, so we are going to jump with Markus Bauer, who is going to speak to us about the secure and automated endpoint patching, okay? Moving forward, then we have someone that you know also very well, which is from our official contributor, Nicklas, who is going to speak on one of the tools that is maybe familiar to you, because it was one of the top 1 in our monthly newsletter, the top 10, and it's a Bitlocker management. So it's really interesting that you probably saw the post, but he is here to speak and give us more details. Then we're going to jump in for some question and answer that you might have. Okay, that's roughly about 5-10 minutes. And then finally, we are going to discover who is the top 3, third, second, and first top posts of the quarter. We will present to them. We're going to give some prize, okay, for recognize the effort and dedication they did. And they're going to speak us and tell us a little bit more about this post. So it's very exciting. So I hope you guys, you learn, because that's the focus of this webinar. So I'm going to stop myself here, because the most important is not me. The most important is the next. And that's what you're going to do. First of all, present you to Markus Bauer, who is a technical, and he can present himself much better. Markus, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good, excellent.
Turn on my video as well.
Evening, good afternoon, independent what country you are. If we are in Spain, as I am, still for us is good afternoon.
For me as well. I'm based in Germany.
Well, let's thinking that we are a very global community, so maybe have someone from Australia or maybe from the US. So we might have a member, people connected from anywhere. So all in over you, I'm going to put myself on mute, and I close my camera. Anything you need, so go ahead, all over you. Go.
Perfect. Thanks, Angel. So let me see if I can share my screen now. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can see it. So yeah, thank you for the introduction. As said, my name is Markus Bauer. I'm evangelist, tech evangelist at Acronis. I'm based in Germany. I'm happy to drive you through this session today. The topic patch management was done by a poll. I did a poll around about 2 weeks ago. I think so, and ask you guys, okay, what do you want to hear in the session? And it turned out that you are interested in patch management, and here we go. So therefore, I'm telling you a little bit about patch management. But I need to have exactly one slide about Acronis. Angel mentioned us as a sponsor, and hopefully you know us, but most people know us in, let's say, maybe a wrong light. They have a different view on the company and what the company is doing. They always treat us, oh, Acronis, the backup company, they're doing true image, home user backup, and so on. That's history. Yes, we started with this topic for sure. We started in Singapore as a backup company, but nowadays we are a cyber protection company, which means we're doing not only data protection, so backup and recovery anymore, we are also adding cyber security. And with this, some security management topics. And out of this, we created cyber protection and a product called Cyber Protect Cloud. And this is our product. And by the way, 𝗤𝘂𝗍𝗪 is also now renamed to Acronis Cyber Protect Home Office. So this is what the company is doing, way more than backup. And before we start with the topic, let's give you an overview about what is Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud. For me, I'm a big science fiction fan, so for me it's like in the movies, we create a protection shield around your workload, which is your endpoint at the end. My laptop I'm working on, your laptop or whatever endpoint. This is our aim. We want to protect your endpoint, and we want to protect not only your data by doing a backup, we want to do even more, like anti-malware protection, like antivirus protection, like anti-ransomware protection, and so on. So all these aspects are now included in the product. But that's not all. As said, we have also the management part, like group management of workloads. Maybe you need to manage a lot of endpoints, so it makes sense to group them together and have one centralized SLA, one protection plan or policy or whatever you want to call it around this group of workloads. Maybe you want to manage centralized the plans. This is possible. Remote desktop, really important in regards of giving proper support. Let's imagine you are managing this endpoint, you're securing this endpoint, and now you have an issue on this endpoint. Maybe there's an attack on somebody tries to attack you. So you want to log in and see what's going on, or maybe you want to assist the user on this endpoint. Then you can do it directly out of our console with our remote desktop. We have hardware inventory. We have a lot of other features we will see on the next slide in addition. So this is you can call it base protection shield we create around your endpoint. But there is more. I'm always saying all energy to the main shield or whatever, like in the movies. And that's exactly what we do with our advanced pack. We put more energy in the protection shield by adding additional features. We have an advanced pack for security, giving you special security features like URL filtering, forensic backups. We have advanced pack for management, which gives us patch management, what we will talk in a minute. But also some other functionalities like software inventory. We have an advanced backup pack. Maybe this workload is not an endpoint. Maybe this is a server in the backend. Also, this should and can be protected up to disaster recovery if you have systems which should be always on. And then one of the best kept secret in Acronis, yes, we have a file sync and share solution like OneDrive, like Dropbox. And the nice thing about the structure of Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud with the advanced packs is it's optional. You decide how to protect your endpoint. What is needed? Every endpoint is different. Every workload is different. So you decide with the advanced packs what you want to do. It's a nice way. And I see a question in the Q&A, which I want to answer right now. It was about, is this only for Windows? No, this is not only for Windows. We support Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. I'm a big fan of Mac, so I'm on Mac. What I have to say, I need to be honest with you, most features are first introduced for Windows because it's just the mass is using Windows. There's the biggest market share. So we develop always the features for Windows first, then mostly for Mac. Mac is gaining market shares. They are growing. I'm happy because I'm on Mac, and then Linux. So maybe not all of these features you see on the slide are available on all platforms, but we try to have everything for everybody. And the nice thing, and this is the last general slide, is everything is out of one tool. With Cyber Protect Cloud, you have all these nice possibilities, and you see here there is a plan which can be created. Backup, disaster recovery, antivirus, anti-malware, URL filtering, the possibility to manage your Windows Defender or Security Essential, depending how old your operating system is, the vulnerability assessment and patch management, and data protection and device control, everything out of one plan, which means for you, one agent, one policy, one user interface, one license, one vendor. This is what you have on your endpoint. Really straightforward, really easy to manage, and easy to protect your business. That's our aim. And with this, I want to change to the topic for today, patching and patch management. And why is it important? And I have this nice picture for you, the big evil update. With a single touch, I'll turn a free weekend into 72 hours of no sleep for your IT teams, except the firmware update. So yeah, this is something you hear often. I learned when I started my business career, what I learned. I'm not sure about your countries, but what Germans are always saying is never touch a running system. But you should touch a running system. Why? Because there are a lot of threats around which can harm you. And WannaCry is one of the best examples. You see on the right side, there is a chart about WannaCry. WannaCry is, I would say, still the most famous ransomware. And WannaCry is still encrypting thousands of machines every day worldwide, even if we know which vulnerability is used by WannaCry, and even there is a patch to close down these vulnerabilities, to close this backdoor. But systems are not patched because patching could be a nightmare. Patching is time consuming, a lot of obstacles, a lot of things can go wrong. So patching is something often people don't do. And also you see on the left side a few charts in regards of this. And this makes clear why patching is really important. So if it's really that I wouldn't say strange, but it's difficult with obstacles. Why not having a solution and automate the process? Everything which can be automated, I'm a big fan of. The less I have to do, the better. I'm lazy, so I try to automate everything. Because another nice comic for you about exposed. And by the way, I will share this slide deck for sure. And in this deck, there will be even more stuff and also serious stuff, not only comics. But I thought my evening, we can do some jokes. I like this one about vulnerabilities. So again, patching and dealing with vulnerabilities, it's not every person's lovely task in IT, but we have to deal with it. Therefore, we introduced, first of all, vulnerability assessment, which is the base for patch management. Because without knowing about vulnerabilities, you are not able to patch them for sure. So we have these vulnerability assessments built in. We will see in my live demo how this is working. Pretty easy. You set it up. We can check your Microsoft products, including operating system and third-party tools on a machine, like you see Adobe, Oracle, Java, browsers, and so on. Why? Because, first of all, we need to know if there is something. Is there a backdoor? Is there a vulnerability? Is there a potential risk for me? And we should know it before the bad actors know it. By the way, the fact that software has issues and vulnerabilities is not something I have to say, even doing my jokes about Windows, because as a Mac user, you need always to do jokes about Windows. But it's not a shame to have vulnerabilities. This software is coded by people, and things happen, things going wrong. Mostly you don't code the complete solution. You have your part, and then it will be thrown together by somebody. So it can happen that you miss something. And that's it. The only thing, again, you need to know it, and then you can close this. A lot of vendors, I'm not sure about Microsoft, but I think the same. I know it from Apple. Apple is paying you a shit of money if you find a vulnerability which can really attack the operating system or can ruin something. If you find an important backdoor, they will pay you. And I think the other vendors are doing the same. So now I know, oh, there is something. So what to do? Yeah, patching, close it down. Therefore, we introduced the patch management. Also here, we can patch your Microsoft products, operating system and application, and third-party application. By the way, due to the COVID situation, we saw, and maybe you saw it in the press as well, especially Zoom was in the press. I don't know why, but because others were hit it exactly the same. But anyway, we try to prioritize patching on these collaboration tools. So Zoom, Skype, Teams, Citrix, WebEx, and so on, they are prioritized. Even without having a patch management plan in place, we take care that your Zoom client is always up to date. Just default action. And then you can prioritize your patching, and you can do a stage deployment for patching. This is important, especially in bigger environment. Maybe you want to test a patch before you roll it out to the complete environment. Again, why? To mitigate potential threats and prevent attacks. That's it. Oops, why is not? Oh, here we go. So again, what is supported? Operating system with Windows, enable, and then there is something which is a small point on the slide, but really, really helpful. It's our fail-safe patching. What does it mean? A patch can go wrong. Maybe the system is corrupt after the patch and it's not booting anymore. or the patch itself has an issue, or maybe I forgot that there in the background is another application I use, and this application needs to have exactly this version. So therefore we have the fail-safe patching, which means the system is just setting a backup point before installing the patch. Especially if you do automatic patching, it makes definitely sense, because if something happens, then you can go back immediately to the point before the patch without losing any data. Then you can do two ways. I think in my eyes, I can even do three, but officially we support two ways. One is completely automated. Again, I'm a big fan. Having everything automated means I don't need to take care. Maybe I need to double check if everything is working, but I don't need to do really something. Or you do it manually, saying, okay, dear system, please discover my vulnerabilities. Please discover if there are patches to close them down, but I decide myself if and when to install it. And there's a third one, which is not on the slide deck, which is for me a kind of semi-automation. We will see in the live demo. Again, here in the slide deck, because I wanted to share with you, I have also a lot of informations collected out of our training material. So you have it. Here is the screenshot of the fail-safe patching with the pre-update backup. And you see, I got in the screenshot here a backup point thing. This is made by patch management. This is what happened. Just one setting here, and I make sure if something happened, I can easily go back. Up, I thought I have hidden all the screenshots. Anyway, please recap why and how is it used. Patch management functionality, install operating system and application, Microsoft and third party. You can do automatic approval of patches and then a patch installation according to a schedule. And how all of this is working, let's jump in a short live demo right now. So I will log into the cloud and drive you through this. Yeah, should be done in a few minutes. I don't want to run out of time. In the meantime, let me check. Here is another question. This is also support for all EUS, includes all operating system, including cloud. Yep. It is. The rest, I see your question, I will answer after my live demo if it's okay for you. So now I'm logged in to my demo environment. On this environment, I have a few of machines. I don't will talk about our console here. This would take too long explaining all the features because it's a powerful system. It's easy, but it's powerful from a feature set. So let's focus on patching. So first of all, how to set up vulnerability assessment and patching. So let's say I want to protect this machine here. It's a Windows 2016 server. In this case, unfortunately, my workstation is down, so I need to use this server, but it's the same logic. So I create a new plan, and within the plan, beside our features like backup, antivirus, anti-malware protection, URL filtering, and so on, you see vulnerability assessment and patch management. And what you can see, I cannot click on patch management because patch management is blocked for now. Why? because, as said, I need to have vulnerability assessment first. We need to know what to patch. So therefore, I need to turn it on. It's easy. I can set up what should be scanned, Microsoft products and Windows third-party products. You can even go and check the list, what is supported. Done, and then set up a schedule. Normally you do it on time. In this case, it's a daily scan at 10:40. You can choose whatever you want, and then we scan your system about vulnerabilities. There are different events you can also use to trigger the vulnerability scan, like log on, log off, system boot, or shutdown. If it's a workstation, an endpoint on maybe a laptop or whatever, it could make sense to have it on system shutdown or even on startup. It doesn't interfere really with the machine, so it doesn't cost a lot of resources. So you can do like this. Because why on a laptop? Because it makes more sense. You never know where's the laptop. If you, let's say, do it at 9 in the morning, maybe it's not ready yet, maybe I'm traveling and the laptop is off or whatever. But it's up to you how to set up. And that's it from the vulnerability assessment. And now I have the possibility to turn on patch management. And again, I have Microsoft products and Windows third-party products. If I click Microsoft, yes, no, I have the possibility to select, okay, do I want to use for all updates or only for security and critical updates, or do I want to specify certain products? So here's a list of applications. Hopefully it is complete. So you select operating systems, you see applications, SQL here and so on, different applications for Windows from Microsoft. You can select and do it on this level. But it makes sense to patch all of them. The same with third-party, major, minor, or going to a list saying, okay, we want to update this or that. And then I set up again a schedule by time or on an event. And here is this nice button, pre-update. Chuck, run backup before install software. Done. That's it. This is now my setup to have a patch management automatically on Monday at 3. But this is not everything so far. Let me close here, because there is another setting which is important. First of all, most of these updates are coming with some legal agreements, and to install an update, often you need to accept it. And also, maybe I need to interact with the patching. Therefore, I go in the main menu to the patches, and here there's settings. And there are 3 options. First of all, lifetime in list. As you can see, an update disappears from the list when it is successfully installed, for sure, and all of the machines included in the patch management, or when the time is passed. So in my case, if a patch is discovered, it will be in the list 7 days. On top, what I do, here is the automatic exception of the license agreement. I told you it's important. And the automatic approval of the patch. In this case, 3 days. So which means after 3 days having a patch here in the list, it will be auto-approved, and then it will be installed when the next schedule kicks in. And this is why I said it's kind of semi-automation, because now I have 3 days to work with my patches. You see, there are 4 patches at the moment on my systems. You see the name of the patch, the severity, which is the affected product, which, if known, is it a version update like here on 7-zip, or is it something from Microsoft coming with a KB? And you see how many machines, and if I click, the system is sorting me. Okay, these are the 2 machines which are infected. Affected, not infected. And here is this approval status. So what I can do and what I did with 7-zip, for example, 7-zip is, I think it's pretty old, discovered. Yeah, release date is from last year. But what I did, you see, I set the approval status to decline. Therefore, it's still in my list, which means it will not delete it out of the list, but it will also not be installed. So this is how I can interact. Maybe there's a security patch I don't want to install, so I can decline it, and then it will not be turned automatically into approval, because only patches which has the status not defined will be turned automatically into approved. I can also speed up a little bit and approve it manually here. Or if it's really urgent, let's say I want to install it right now, I can even click on this button here and says, okay, this is the machine where the patch is from. Do you want to restart if required or no? And now click install patch, and system say go to activities. Let's do it. And now I started manually the process of installing this software. So now the process is starting, and it will take a few seconds. Yeah, now it's starting. 0% completed. Now we will see this number going up, and then the patch should be installed on my machine. Here's also a list of my vulnerabilities, by the way. In software management vulnerabilities, you see there is a long list. I should really need to update my demo environment. You see the name, the affected product, again, machine, severity, if there is a patch, yes or no, and again, the button to patch it immediately. Let's click on one vulnerability just to give you the full picture here. Here is again install patch, and here are the details. Not that many, but you can always go to more details, and then we will link you to the CVE, which is the common vulnerability and exposure database from the 𝗕𝗏 office in the US or governmental department, and they are collecting all these vulnerabilities, and here are all the information about them. By the way, who is not aware about the CVE, you can even search within the CVE for a product, for whatever, and see if there is something. This is how we track the vulnerabilities, and from there always here, that's interesting. Here's something for Excel, and there is no patch from Microsoft so far. So therefore, there is a question mark. And if I click, I would end up to information how to deal with this when no patch is available. There's another way to patch it manually from the device view, where you see your devices. You can also patch. Let's say I need to, this is a Windows 10 machine. Also here, there is a patch button, and oh, I don't have the quota, interesting. Let's see, okay, this is nice. There is no patch for this machine, so this machine is up to date. I think here we have one. Let's see, yeah, here for example, I have 2. One of them is the 7-zip, which is declined, and now the system is telling me patches with a declined status are present in this list. Do you want to proceed with the installation of such patches? No or yes, more or less. So system recognized, hey, you declined it manually, So should I really do it or not? That's the idea of this. And yeah, before we go further, let me go back to my slide deck here, because beside the patch management, there is something, and I got your question, by the way. We will do a Q&A after Nicklas, but
a few minutes, Markus.
Yeah. Should we do the Q&A right now, Angel? I can answer the question.
We can, or no, we can move with, if you wish, with Nicklas, and then you got time to review and
Perfect.
read the question that we already got in a QA.
Cool. Let's do it this way. So, what is Apple always saying? There is another thing, or something like this. I put on this slide. Did you know? Did you know that we are also supporting BitLocker? It's often a question, can you secure a machine which is locked by BitLocker? Yes, we can. And especially in regards of backup, it's always the question, yes, we can do a backup and we can do a recovery. And we even introduced a new possibilities shortly with the last release. Should I use BitLocker? Definitely yes. Normally, yes, and especially on a laptop, you have to. Why? We have stuff like GDPR. You heard about this. Let's imagine your laptop is stolen, get lost or whatever. You violate the GDPR because you have personal data on it. For sure, you have contacts or whatever, emails. So definitely you should lock it with the BitLocker. And that's exactly where Nicklas is coming into the game, because he created something really cool in regards to the BitLocker, and therefore, Nicklas, up to you.
Yes, thank you, Markus. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen over here. Okay, so all good. You can see it, right?
Yes, all fine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, great.
We see everything. Nicklas,
yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Nicklas Ahlberg. I work as a senior system engineer at 𝗕𝗶𝘁𝗶𝗿. I am a Microsoft MVP within the enterprise mobility area. I was awarded this year. I run a blog, a technical, IT technical, I should say, blog over at 𝗕𝗶𝗁𝗿𝗄.se. Feel free to tweet at me over at 𝗂𝗏𝗁𝗍𝗂 or scan the QR code down below. And feel free to connect with me over at LinkedIn. Okay, and some of you guys know me from interactions over at the Modern Endpoint Management Group. But if you don't, I am an official contributor, and some of my posts have actually been on the top 10 list from time to time. I have had 2 of my posts winning the first place, and a couple of second places as well. And the one that I enjoyed the most was first place in March this year, when I got this very good looking football from Acronis. I am a Gunner, or I should say Arsenal fan myself.
Nice one.
As you can see, it's not there is no air in it, because I don't want my kids to play with it. so if I would put some air in it, okay.
Well deserved, Nicklas. Next time we will give you also a pump.
Nice. Look forward to it. Well, to my American friends, this is what a football looks like. It should be round. No other shape or size is a football. Okay, and I have been speaking with my good friend and buddy Damien. We did a what should I say, session where we had looked at how to use PowerShell and Graph to interact with Intune. And if you didn't see it live, you could actually go ahead and visit YouTube. And if you search for modern endpoint management, you should be able to find the account. And you could actually see all the replays kind of on a video on demand kind of thing. So if you missed it, feel free to head over to YouTube, search for modern endpoint management, and you should be able to find all the replays over there. Okay, so what is BitLocker? Well, Markus, you said it. We need to, or should always, encrypt our devices when possible. So we do not want to run around with an decrypted laptop or any other mobile device for that matter, because when or if an unauthorized person gains access, maybe you leave your device on the train or bus, or what, it could get stolen. And if we did not encrypt our device, a bad actor could very easily get access to your data. And we are using cloud stuff, so probably there won't be too much corporate related, hopefully not, at least, data on the device. But it always feels good to know that the disk has been encrypted, because if we add BitLocker to it, our unauthorized friend over here would probably look like something like this. Okay, so that's it for my PowerPoint slides. So I will head over to my blog. So if we go to well, over at my blog, I have a blog post series on how to move BitLocker management from the traditional AD, MBAM, or MECM, for that matter, to move it to Intune and MIM. So if you are looking into a solution to do that, feel free to head over to 𝗕𝗂𝗿𝗄𝗿𝗄𝐻 and have a look. If you scroll down a bit, you will find the blog post series. And we look at how to do it, how to get backup, and also the end user experience, and so on. And with MIM and Microsoft 365, our end users do actually get some really nice experience when or if our users need to get the BitLocker key or password. So definitely feel free to have a look at that. And I will go back here, and I want to show you one of my tools that I created. So I talked about the end user experience is pretty good, but if your help desk and service desk and so on, some kind of admin resource receives a call from a user, and it probably sounds something like this: please give me the BitLocker recovery key ASAP because I can't work. That's kind of that, and we need to, when or if we are transitioning from the traditional legacy management of BitLocker to Intune, it could be pretty hard to know, should I look for the BitLocker password in AD, or should I look for it in Azure AD? So I created one tool to kind of get one single pane of glass towards both traditional AD and Azure AD, to make sure we do find the key as soon as possible with as little effort as possible. So as you can see here in the GIF, I know it's pretty fast, but we need to connect. We need to choose either Azure AD or AD. We will search for our computer, and we will get the key. So that's kind of that for this tool. I mean, it should be easy, always be easy to be an admin, right? So that's it for this tool. And I have another one that I myself think is a good way to apply something that is called a BitLocker startup key. I know, right? We don't always want to use the key because we are using TPM, but when or if we need it, it could be that we have a customer that is interested in having this, that maybe they want to do some hardening in regards to BitLocker and so on. Microsoft does actually have a page or a document called the BitLocker countermeasures, where they have a look at the pre-boot and so on. If you need to apply a PIN, we need to first create some policies to allow it, because usually this one is blocked, right? Compatible TPM startup PIN block. But if we change it to allow, then we can use it if we want to. So we create a policy. We use in this example, we will use Intune or MEM to apply the policy to our devices. We will need so I'm not going to cover this right now because I realize I am running out of time. But as you can see, this is a kind of like a step-by-step how to get going with this tool. And the main thing here is that we will use something that is called proactive remediation to run a script. And if our policy is actually set to allow, this one down here, this little tool, will reveal itself when we have an end user signing on to our device, and it will use whatever you set in the policy to. So as you can see here we have, please set a PIN minimum 15 characters, and it does actually query the registry to know whether we should, how many characters we should use and so on. And also if the use enhanced PIN is set to 1, it will actually ask you for this one. So use numeric digits. That means that it's set to 0, right? But if we have the advanced, or sorry, enhanced PIN, then we could actually use other characters, and which is not only kind of a number. And obviously our registry would actually get these settings from our policy. So the tool will reflect whatever we decide upon when we set and apply our BitLocker policy. And this is really a real neat way to apply the PIN, because doing it from Intune with autopilot and so on, everything comes down to a specific timing and etc., then it could be a hassle to get this done, and it could be a really bad end user experience as well. So this tool is not a new one. I created this in November last year, but it's certainly related to the topic here, which is Bitlocker. So I wanted to show it to you. Yeah, and I mean that's what I had from the Bitlocker in a modern way perspective. Obviously, it's a really, to me, this is a really big topic, and we could dig deep in the Q&A here. And if you want to, we could have a chat on this topic as well over at our shared group in LinkedIn. So yeah, Angel, I'm done.
Good, Nicklas. Always good with you. And we're going back to Markus. Have you time to see the question that many attendees left to us in the question and answer? I think it was for you, asking a question about WSUS. Have you tried that?
The first question I already answered during the session. It was about this will help us in Windows only. So it depends. As said, a few features are available for Windows only, a few are for other operating system like Mac OS and Linux as well. And then the additional question was, this is also supported for all. EUS includes all operating systems, including cloud. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Then a question which is always coming up when we talk about patch management is the WSUS. You can use it. We can interact with this solution from Microsoft. There is, I think, on our knowledge base, there is a good article and describes exactly how to set up this. So definitely, yes, this is available. Okay. How about mobile management, Android and iOS? Management would be, how to say, if you would call it management, it would be too big. What we are offering right now is a backup of your mobile devices, independent from your operating system. This is the nice one. We are not doing a backup of the mobile itself, including iOS or Android, but we do a content backup, and therefore it's independent. So, for example, I do a backup of my mobile devices, all my pictures on an Android, and then I recover to iOS, which is doable.
All right. Okay.
And what else?
Good question next.
Yep. Is Cyber Protect an alternative for /SCCM plus Intune? How to say it with the right wording? Not yet. Partly, yes, but not completely. But we are on a good way. So our aim is coming from backup, heading into protection, protect you against ransomware, and bringing also the management part. And we will have more and more in this. And I would say there is a point in time, which is not that far away, where we really can exchange /SCCM and Intunes as well. So the management aspect is also a big aspect. We have already, there was no time to drive you through this, but you can, by the way, you can always go to our web page and sign up for a free of charge trial. We have things like hardware and software inventory, and based off this, also we will get more stuff like rule-based protection. New DLP events can be set it up, and then policies. So also, we will be able in the future to manage what is allowed on this machine software-wise, what can be installed remotely, what can be deleted remotely. So all these things are coming.
Okay. Okay.
Boo.
Hey,
Yeah.
Markus, we are running a little bit late because we are closing an hour. We got 6 minutes left, and we have to present the prize. We have still 3 questions. Will you be able to answer all of those right now, or would you prefer to answer later?
One I just answered in written. The rest I can do while you go to the winners. I will answer them in written here in the tool.
Okay. Okay. Well, all good from your side. So we can move forward?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So we keep in that anyway. Don't worry, guys, because those questions are saved in the system. We will receive those questions, and of course, Markus or someone from your team can reply them. And if you want to know, I mean, we will provide to you the Markus details, or someone from Acronis then can help it to you more. So let's move forward. Sorry guys, but we are a little bit running late. We want to keep our program for our 1 hour webinar. So let's move next. Okay, let's try to do as quickly as possible. Okay, so now we are going to discover who is the 3 winners of the top quarter of April, May, and June. Okay, I want to just highlight very quickly, okay, how it works. It's very simple. First of all, it's only participate those posts that is coming from a personal blog post or website from someone from personal, no companies, no third party, no commercial. That is a totally unique and personal blog website. So from those blog websites, what do we do is, just because as administrator of the group, we have the right to access, thanks to LinkedIn, to identify which one is the top. But there are a small rules to, for your understanding, is what happen is LinkedIn algorithm consider who is the top, calculating from the number of reaction, or the reaction like when you usually like, applause or whatever you like, and is like if then account for, let's say, 1 point. And then you got another reaction, which is more powerful, is when you leave a comment. So that's why I tell you many times in the community, please not just leave a comment as a comment. It's just also feedback. It's very powerful for someone who is posting. It's really nice to read those comments because it's very, very nice comment. So that is what I want to say, just to be clear on how it works. Okay, so let's move forward for the next. So we are going to start for the third. Okay, we are going to do faster. Okay, the third winner is Niels Koch. That's probably familiar to you. He also been one of the top, I think a few times in the top 10 of the monthly newsletter. He's not with us. Is fine wrong if he's here, but I think he just left because for personal problem he left, and he cannot stay. Just Markus, I just learned that. Okay, he got personal trouble, and he left the meeting before. Obviously for him it's a pity, because he was so happy with this, because it's a recognition that most of the official contributor or non-official contributor they are waiting for, because that is a recognition of what the good work done. So if you want to learn more about this post, I mean, we will announce it, because I'm going to send a newsletter, and in the newsletter that we announce every month, it will be included a link that you can learn more about his post. So the next one is Manish. Manish, he's with us, but we recorded that before and explained to you why. The reason is because he's based in Sydney. Right now in Sydney is nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. So obviously, as we are a global community, but it's not easy to find the right time for everyone. But what we did is recorded. Okay, and let me put in there.
Hello, Manish. So unfortunately, you cannot attend this because you are 8 hours ahead of us, so it's quite late for you. But I mean, you can tell us more about your post that being our and winning for the second position with over 264 reaction and 9 comment, which is a very, very huge achievement. And your posts have been reacted because it was really good. So the post create SNCM lab using modern endpoint management, evaluation lab kits. What is it? I'm talking about yourself, and congratulations. Go ahead, Manish.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Angelo. I'm really feeling very much obliged that I just came to know about that my blog has been selected as the second best blog in the quarter, right? And it really feels pretty much good for me that my blog people are liking it. So it really makes a lot of difference for me. I would like to say, first of all, let me tell something about myself. That my name is Manish, and I have somewhere around 20 years of experience and I am the Microsoft MVP in enterprise mobility. So I love writing the blogs, creating the documentation on the Microsoft technology, specifically into the MEM, means that Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager, what we say, and Intune. So all the technologies related to Intune Autopilot, I used to write blogs on that. Yeah, that's it about myself.
Okay, very good. What about your post? Could you tell us more about your post? What do you think it is very helpful? Because if we can't see in the comment, it's basically we see it was very helpful. Could you tell us more about your post, the content you wrote, why it's very success, and also if you can give us any tips and tricks, it will be very welcome. This is what we love in our community. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I would say that I believe that why people are liking this post is because of everyone wants to learn the SCCM configuration manager. And nowadays we know that the co-managing capability where we can apply the workload. So this process becomes very complex, very complicated. So in production environment, we might not be getting that kind of exposure because the changes, we cannot apply those changes so easily. So there are challenges. So that kind of exposure you can get from your home by creating your own lab. Now, the problem with creating a lab is that if you have to create your lab on your own, you have to download all ISOs, you need to know about installing the Active Directory, you need to know about installing the configuration manager, SQL database, and all kind of configuration. So I believe that that kind of work is pretty much overwhelming. And there are a lot of guys which are looking for directly getting the exposure on configuration manager rather than getting exposure on installing. So the good thing about the Microsoft MEM evaluation lab kit is that it's already there, but I think that people are not aware of this. So I simply provided in an easy way that how to use that Microsoft provided evaluation lab kit, which can be used to configure your lab within 1 hour. So the size of that lab is somewhere around 22 GB. So if you have a high-end desktop or laptop, you can configure the lab at your home without actually knowing that how to install the SCCM. So everything is pretty much readily available. Simply go click, and the lab is available. Not only that, Microsoft also provides the lab guide, the PDF file with a lot of instructions that how you can explore the lab, what can you do with the basic configuration till the advanced level, and it can also be integrated with the MEM. So it can be, if you have a license, you can buy the MEM Intune license, which will cost pretty much the very basic license you can go, which will cost you around $13 to $15 Australian dollar. With you can go with Intune E3, that EMS E3 license. If you wanted to go in advanced, then you can go for the EMS E5 license and Office 365 license. So, but at least with the basic $13, you can start getting the exposure on Intune. And even if you don't want to invest in that kind of thing, you can get 90 days of evaluation for the Intune. But I would always recommend having a license so that when you are investing so much on your lab, it's a good idea that you can retain your lab if you are having a license.
Very good. It sounds very, very logical. This is very good, that one. So congratulations once again. Okay, we appreciate that you are giving us that kind of content that is, and it's not me only who say. If you go to the comments, it's basically was everyone. Thank you to you to comment. Someone explain a little bit how it was helpful for them. So just let you know, please keep it doing the job that you are doing. Happy if we can give you again another hour. That is good because that's what we're looking for. That's what we are, expecting from people like you in our community. Very helpful contents. And thank you so much, Manish. And congratulations. So now you can address us like teachers like this with your logo. Okay, a sponsor as well, our sponsor Acronis, who is supporting us and helping us. And I very appreciate. Thank you so much. And by the way, good evening, because you are so late. Once again, you are based in Sydney, okay, which is 8 hours. For us, it's right now, it will be at 5, which is you will be in the bed probably and sleeping, be ready for the next day.
Before going, Angel, I would like to say thank you to you as well, because you are the main key person who is managing this group and keep on engaging the people in a way that we are sharing the articles, we are sharing the knowledge. There are so many groups on the LinkedIn, but this is one of the best group which I can say that the kind of efforts which you are putting, that I believe that everyone is getting benefit. So you are the key person, the master person who is actually doing that kind of magic. Oh,
thank you so much. Very appreciate. I'm really, really, really honored that you say that, because in fact, it's exactly what I'm looking for. It's exactly my scope is trying this community becoming one of the largest, not just largest, but a very, very helpful. It's keeping that slogan is helping each other. If we can get it that, I'm really very happy for that. Very happy. Thank you so much. Okay, and have a good evening. Enjoy your prize.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Late, okay, guys. Just remind you that Manish had more than 2,164 reactions and more than 9 comments, which is very, it's a huge achievement, to be honest. And he recently joined us as an official contributor. He's MVP. And also we are going to give a very nice voucher. Okay, he can spend it to all the t-shirt or bags or many things, many swag or goodies that shop that we have for the community. That, by the way, if you want also buy something for yourself, you can do it. I will send it the link to it because many people request me that. But that is the gift that we are going to give it to Manish. Okay, I hope you enjoy this. Of course, this is not going to be. I try to understand my joke. Is not being billionaire. Here is a recognition of the effort and recognition of of that kind of work that. Who knows? But I guess if people reacted, because it was helpful for the people. That's what we're looking for. So now we are going to jump for the top 1. And funny life. We don't need to jump so far away from here, because in fact the number 1 is just here. Unbelievable that we honestly there's no plan of that. We invited Nicklas because, in fact, the tools he spoke, it was one of the top 1. Tell me if I'm wrong, Nicklas, but it was one of the top 1 with the Bitlocker. But he did the new tools that he going to, which is a rock and roll. And Nicklas, I love the name. It's really. It seems to be very, very nice. It seems to be invite to play with the tool. You're very nice, very nice tool. So the rock and roll tools. Tell us more about that. You are here, so tell us. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Angel. Well, as you know, I do like all my tools. Right, and as I were creating new ones, then I realized, oh my God, there's a lot of them. So I had this idea to kind of consolidate as many of them as possible into one tool. And as you know, I created a couple of years back now. Time flies. A blog post about how to enroll our devices to Intune. and I call that blog post "Rock and Roll." No pun intended. Yeah, well. So,
okay.
And that kind of stuck with me. So I created this tool, as you can see, and there's some new stuff in it. So I kind of consolidated as much as possible into this. It's still in development, so it's not done yet. It has not been released yet, so I'm really happy that it's already getting this much of shares from you guys. That's really nice. And for sure you can look forward to some new additions in this tool as well. And other than that, I am transitioning from the ADOL graph to MSAL, the Microsoft Authentication Library, to make sure it's future-proof. So if any of you guys have seen or run into any issues when it comes to ADOL being deprecated, rest assured that I am working on the MSAL, which is the future-proof version, and all of those will be updated in the Rock and Roll tool, which will be released very soon, I should say.
Good. Waiting for.
Thanks again.
Very welcome, and very well done. Very well done. We're going to give you a nice 300 gift voucher for you to dress, to spend in a few dresses with the logo, and they get it to, spend it as you wish with nice gift. But the most important here is that, the content that you publish, we wish from here, not just for me, from behind of all the community, please keep doing, as I told to manage, keep doing this work, keep doing this publication. And definitely from the community, we are going, thank you to our sponsor, because thank you companies like Acronis allow us to encourage the people to do the work and do the best for us and for everyone. And that is what is the community working for. So thank you so much, Markus. What else from your side? Anyone? Maybe we have 1 minute if you want to answer any question that you are probably missing in the QA, or anything that you want to add from yours.
The only thing I want to add is congrats to all 3 winners, and special thanks and congrats for sure for Nicklas for being a part of this session and being our winner number 1. I wouldn't say as always, but yeah, hopefully you don't get a second ball. But we are sponsoring many football clubs, so maybe there is another one for you from another club.
Right. Yeah, Acronis is supporting so many clubs in Madrid. You are supporting Atletico Madrid. You go Arsenal, you go Liverpool. So there are quite many football clubs that you are also covering the cyber protection, right?
Yep, correctly.
Formula 1 as well.
Formula 1, and I think some other stuff is coming as well.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah. No, Acronis is one of the companies that I know for a while, since I've been also working with the parallels. So we were brother in the past. So yeah, we definitely. I think that another session for learning, another session for good stuff from you guys. So if it's nothing else, so I wish to thank you to everyone. I wish you to have a nice evening, in anywhere that you are, evening, morning, or afternoon, because we are so from, especially I have received message even from India, so it's a little bit late also in India. So happy to have this session. We will have for sure more session. And hopefully Acronis also will join us. You, Markus, Nicklas, keep it from your side. Okay, good in that way. Thank you so much. And now, thank you. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.